Hey folks, Josh Penny-Levy here with Real Change Financial on a Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, Election Day. I want to talk about politics, not in the way you might think, but really the economic outflow of politics. And on this, the biggest thing that I worry about, especially in retirement planning, and when I speak to most of my clients, we go through a process of examining the U.S. debt. Why? Well, remember in the news a couple months ago, it was really just a little bit over 3 months ago, when you saw we're crossing 35 trillion. Well, now we're just about to cross 36 trillion. I wonder how loud the pronouncements will be once that happens. I guess it depends on the candidate. But 35.973 trillion. And focusing on the top left, this is usdebtclock.org. They take in all source reporting from government to show what our debt projection is. And that 0.973 is it's a little misleading if you glance too quickly, because that's $973 billion. Just popping up to that next 1,000 billion when we're going to hit 36 trillion. So that's our national operating budget debt. That's the one media will report on. That's bad enough. But what US Debt Clock does is it shows us the Social Security liabilities, and the technical term is unfunded liabilities, because they're just stacking up IOUs. Yes, grandma does get a check, and they can cash it and live off of that, and that's great. Challenge is there's no money behind that. It's just stacking up more debt in a different category. So too Medicare, Medicaid, that's pushing 42 trillion. And the real shame is when you add all of those debts up, the operating budget, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, and then factor in the interest on those. Our interest is already pushing $1 trillion a year on the operating budget alone. Well, that's $220 trillion projected into the future. Ain't nobody get that money. And simply divide by 340 million Americans, man, women, child, senior citizens whose last day on earth is today, and children who were born just now, $652,000 per person. That was $620,000 just about a month ago, the last time I looked. It's unbelievable, the astronomical debt that's growing. So who's responsible? Let's get political. Both political parties are to blame. Republicans and Democrats have both increased the national debt. And in the last few years, the debt, all these gray bars, debt ceiling suspended, different crises, COVID, etc. Well, both Republicans and Democrats are quite fully responsible. In my humble opinion, there's unanimity of thought in the Congress that we just got to keep this going, and we'll kick the debt to the next generation for another time maybe. And what does that mean for us? For us trying to plan for retirement, a Gen Zer now who has a lifetime of growth, he might not see higher taxes, meaning he might live to a time when we've got a handle on the national debt. I don't even know how you do that. If you look at it as a family, we'd be a family with millions of debt, earning a salary of $10,000 a year. A boomer now, a baby boomer who's looking for retirement's right around the corner. Where are his taxes going to be? What'll happen to her taxes? You have to plan they're going to go up, because short of cutting out all the spending, which is the real problem no party has been able to do, there has to be massive tax increases across the board to keep our country afloat. If they don't, well, are we students of history or are we not? Did Rome fall or do they still exist? How's your local Byzantine neighbor doing? There is no Byzantine neighbor. They're gone. Nelson Nash, in his book, Becoming Your Own Banker, gave us a solution that's not creating something new, rather going back to something old that predates the IRS and income tax law, predates all this debt, and that was the institution of life insurance and designing it properly to be a bank for your family. See any of our videos on becoming your own banker, model a car loan or any other type of loan that you have in your life with your personal IBC, Infinite Banking Concept Bank, built on a chassis of properly designed life insurance, and use that to rise above this really sea of debt. One thing's for sure, as we're watching this, we already know who the president is, and we have a great idea that this problem is not going to be solved during the time of their presidency. So we have to do what we can to plan to rise above it. So if you've enjoyed this playful take on politics, like and subscribe. Click the link below to get in touch with us to design your own IBC life insurance policy. Thanks so much.